Good afternoon.
Hello.
Getting all set up here. Okay. Robert Jones is in the waiting room. I asked the jail staff to bring Miss Furlow in at 1:55. She had missed several hearings previously. I'm not sure what's up with her. I guess we'll find out. Do you need to talk to Robert Jones?
I don't think so. I did email Miss Davis an update, and I didn't hear anything, so I'm not sure what her office position is.
All right, well, we'll wait for her. How's everything in Mendon?
Quiet.
That's the way we like it.
Yep.
Yeah, Miss Furlow hasn't been seen since 2019.
Correct.
Just hear where she's been and what she's been doing. I'm live on the live feed. I haven't turned the recording on yet. Mr. Jones, your lawyer, Jordan Yancey, has joined us. We're still waiting for the prosecutor. We're going to take up another matter also, depending on when they come. I'd hope to do that first, but we'll see. Anyway, as soon as the prosecutor comes, I'll bring you back. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, you're in the right spot. You only have one today, so thank you for letting me stick Miss Furlow in there.
Yeah, not a problem. I had a couple at one with Judge Pattison, so it kind of worked out perfect.
You know, I called the jail about half an hour early and told them I'd like to, what really works is just calling them on 1 minute notice and saying I'd like to see the person. Because if you call ahead, they always get sidetracked. Almost always. You know, and I hate to just spring it on them, say, can I see this person in the next 30 seconds? But they usually accommodate.
Right.
In Furlow, I'm not sure what interest they have on that 2019 truancy case.
Yeah, I had her on two different files.
Yeah, the truancy and the retail fraud.
Correct.
Well, so much for trying to do that first. All right, thanks. I didn't know if they got sidetracked or what. I know you told them, whether they remembered or not, I don't know. All right, thanks a lot. Bye. I heard Miss Furlow sing a couple of occasions at her church or at some other function. She has a beautiful singing voice. If you just show up for court, it would all be great.
Are you aware, was it just these warrants or is there new charges?
I didn't see any new charges.
Okay.
I looked. Guess we'll find out. Good afternoon, Ms. Furlow. Can you hear me?
Yes.
This is Judge Middleton. Looks like maybe you're taking a nap or something. I'm not sure, but I had you brought up because you got arrested on these two outstanding warrants. Your lawyer was Jordan Yancey back then and theoretically is still representing you, so I asked her to be present. You fell off the map. In file 191329, you were charged with retail fraud in the second degree that allegedly occurred in May of 2019. You pled not guilty and you failed to appear in June of 2019. You got arrested, then failed to appear again in December of 2019. We haven't seen you since. And there's been a warrant outstanding for your arrest with a $500 bond. So you failed to appear in that case on two previous occasions. In file 191326, you're charged with a truancy violation that allegedly occurred in April of 2019. You did 5 days in jail, then you posted bond, then you failed to appear in June of 2019. You got arrested and again failed to appear in December of 2019. So you've been somewhere other than here since the winter of December of 2019. Let me ask you a couple of questions. How did you get arrested?
I was at the Hardings with my kids. Me and my children had COVID right now. Well, my children, I'm getting over it. Yesterday is supposed to be my last day of COVID, but my other three got COVID. So I was at Hardings getting vitamin C and stuff for them. And Officer Elaine and Officer Piper rolled down on me to question me about the girl about Charles Higgins. He stabbed me up like almost 2 weeks ago. And I have surgery tomorrow. So they wanted to know if I'm still coming to court, everything else. And then they looked my name up and they said, oh, well, you have 3 warrants. And I said, how is that when I've been calling the police on Charles because he tried to kill me on 2 occasions. He been beating me, coming to my house, beating me. So why y'all just now telling me in front of my kids that I have warrants? I said, I have to be with my kids. They said, well, we just now seen them. I said, if they're old, because they got to be old, because I haven't been doing nothing. I went and got my own house, got my own truck, and I work. So they can't be nothing new. So Officer, I was really mad because Officer Piper did it like I was just had robbed a bank or something. And he been handling my case with Charles. So I'm like, why didn't y'all do it when I was at home or anything else? Y'all been coming to my home because I've been calling you guys since I've been getting stabbed up.
Well, obviously, the Three Rivers Police Department dropped the ball on this. There's been a warrant out for your arrest since December of 2019 because you blew off court dates. You were at your mom's on 10th Avenue. Where are you staying now?
I was at my grandma's and my mom going back and forth. I didn't have nowhere to live. And I was in a shelter also all around that year. So I got up and I got my own house. I live on 321 South Erie Street in Walnut Meadows. I have my own truck. I work. I have my own place. I got everything together now. That is my current address. So for me to miss court dates.
What's the apartment number?
204. Building 321 South Erie Street, Walnut Meadows.
All right. Where do you work?
I work at American Axle. I've been there for 3 months now.
Are you temp or are you hired in?
I'm hired in now. I did my 90 days last week, but I can't go back until I'm finally finished with COVID. And then I have, since Charles stabbed me up, I have to have surgery for them to see if I'm healing okay in the inside of my veins where he stabbed me with the ice pick. So I have that tomorrow. And I can't go back until I'm really, really clear to go back to the hospital and get the clear papers to go back to American Axle from COVID.
All right. Deborah Davis from the prosecutor's office has joined us. You haven't gone anywhere. You've been in Three Rivers the whole time. You just never showed up for court. Then the Three Rivers Police has multiple contacts with you while these warrants are outstanding. Elaine, I think, was the arresting officer on the retail fraud charge. You see who did the tracing. So, and you missed on 2 previous occasions. So the easier thing would be to leave you in jail. I don't want you to miss your surgery, and I don't want you to lose your job. So if I let you out of jail, will you get on the stick and talk to your lawyer and get ready for a pretrial? What shift are you on at American Axle?
I work third shift at American Axle, but I'm supposed to be switching to first due to my kids going back to school when school start. So I don't know how that's gonna go. They said they'll try to switch me, but I don't know. I'll probably stay on third. So, but I'm in my own place. My mail will be coming to my own place.
Who's helping you watch the kids?
My mom. She doesn't work. She lives on 910 5th Street. Sabrina Washington is my mom.
Yeah.
She watches the kids while I go to work. My kid's school is right behind at Andrews, so when I go to work, she come to my house.
My inclination is to give you a PR bond on each of these cases with the understanding that you'll show up for court. This is the 3rd time you got arrested for failing to appear. You're not malicious. All right, I'm gonna set a $500 PR bond in each case. One is the truancy case from 2019. I'm not sure they even care much about that at this point after COVID hit and everything that took place. The other is the retail fraud, and as you know, you had a couple prior charges of that. So I'm going to give you a $500 PR in each case. Frankly, Cinquez, I'm pleasantly surprised. I thought I was going to see you and you were going to be a train wreck. You're working, you got your own place, you're taking care of your kids, you're in that abusive situation. This is just a case of benign neglect when nobody ever bothered to serve these warrants.
Yeah.
I will say to the court that Cinquez has been in contact with our victim advocate since these last 2 cases where she is the victim. So I don't think that she had any malicious intent with these cases. I think it's one of those where it slipped through the cracks. I didn't realize that she had outstanding warrants, or we would have said something well before this. So hopefully we get it resolved.
And I didn't know, we probably saw you as a complaining witness. So I guess we all dropped the ball. Anyway, it's your own damn fault because you didn't show up when you were supposed to. But I don't, well, these cases can be resolved, Sinquez. I'm gonna let you out of jail. Jordan, do you have your pretrial set for August or September 3rd yet?
Yes, I received several this
What
morning.
time did they plug you in?
They're with you at 9 a.m. on the 3rd.
All right, Sinquez, will somebody come get you?
I have my own truck. My mom got it, so she can come get me.
All right, I'm gonna let
That's
you out of
where, that's
jail.
where they let me take it.
Good. I'm glad they didn't impound it. I
No.
like Hardings. If I'd have ran into you there, I would have said, go turn yourself in at the jail. Anyway.
I would have rather you did that than fly down on me.
Did you know Wade?
Who?
Bob?
Wade, the one that passed away?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I spoke to the police officer and I told him that Charles is the one who gave him fentanyl that killed him also. Because Charles ran to my house the night before and he did it to Tracy also, but she didn't die. She went to the hospital and she OD'd. He got out of jail and he came back, and whatever he was selling on that street, he came back and gave it back. And if you go on Paul's Pantry's camera, you will see Charles leaving out of there. So,
All right. I'm going to try to go to his funeral tomorrow.
Yeah, I know Wade.
For Ernestine. All right. Anyway, you're getting out on 2 PR bonds. Your appearance date is September 3rd at 9 a.m. Your address is 321 South Erie, apartment 204. All right. And I want you to call your lawyer, Jordan Yancey. She's going to work with you and try to get these things resolved. You're doing much better than I hoped. And are you getting any child support from anybody?
My children's father is dead. He died in 2016 in a car accident. I get survivor's benefits.
Yeah, the accident up there on 216. He rear-ended in that car. Yeah, I remember. All right, well that's good. All right, Sinquez, I'm gonna let you out of jail. I'll see you on August or September 3rd. I want you to call your lawyer, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
I forgot about that. I shouldn't have asked her that. I'm glad she got survivor's benefits. Anyway, that sounds like we all blew it. She should have just been cited in here. She gets arrested with her kids. But just she didn't. I don't know. I guess she thought she didn't show up, maybe it'd go away. All right, we've got Robert Jones with us. Samantha, would you come get this Sinquest furlough Polycom so you can do those PR bonds so she can get out of jail? We've got Robert Jones, and then next we're going to do Mario Bucio Montoya. Mr. Jones has been waiting patiently. He's charged in 2 cases, filed 21552 ST, driving suspended second offense, and impeding traffic. Thank you.
Yep.
Jordan indicated that she shared some email exchanges with you, Deborah. What's the status here with Mr. Jones?
Well, the offer was contingent on what he did to get his license reinstated. So I haven't heard anything back unless you emailed me today. I hadn't checked late this morning.
I did. Sorry.
You scroll down.
I can.
Found it. I'm thinking that we would just probably, if Judge would let us reset this one more time, it appears he has the money to pay the ticket that he needs to this week. Judge, would you allow us to set it for one final pretrial?
How about if we set it for attorney pretrial?
Sure.
Well, I don't know how crowded that date is. Jordan, what's your preference?
It doesn't matter, Your Honor. Mr. Jones reported to me this morning that he can get those fines paid tomorrow.
All right,
So-
let's set this for September 3rd at
And
9.
And if it's acceptable, I can always set it for a plea earlier once we get confirmation of.
Yes, that's certainly fine. I appreciate that. Mr. Jones, how much do you owe on that unpaid ticket?
It's $80.
All right, and I'm not sure what is left outstanding. I'm going to show this for September 3rd at 9 a.m. Defendant to pay outstanding tickets. Both files. All right, Mr. Jones, are you still on High Street in Jones?
Yes, sir.
And where, you told me where you're working, but I forgot.
Heartland RV. We had 3 weeks off though for 4th of July.
All right. Well, that company pays pretty well. They're going to open a shop in Sturgis. You probably heard that.
Yeah, I heard about that.
All right. You've done a good job of staying in contact with your lawyer. You haven't done a good job of paying stuff off. So you get what you can pay it off, and we'll do a virtual hearing like this September 3rd at 9 a.m., possibly earlier if your lawyer can set that up.
All right.
All right. Stay in contact with her. Do you have any questions for me, Mr. Jones?
No, sir.
Okay. You're good to go. All right, Mr. Bucio Montoya, we need to wait for your lawyer, Ms. Halleck. Hopefully she'll join us.
Okay.
Rachel, thank you, Jordan, for your
Yes.
help.
Thank you. Have a nice
See you
weekend,
soon.
everybody.
Thanks, Jordan. Take care.
Jordan's showers this weekend.
Oh, fun. Sure, it'll be
let's-
pretty. They
Rachel,
have good attention to detail on their parties that they throw.
boy, don't they? Good afternoon, Miss Ott. You're a little early, which I appreciate. As soon as we can get, oh, here's Luke right now. I guess we can address her case. I've got her set at,
Yeah, Luke had emailed and I actually just shot him an email back. He has something else at 2:45 and Miss Ott's going to be a plea, so.
well, this will work out fine while we wait for Melissa. Good afternoon, Miss Ott. Can you hear me?
Yes, I
Rachel?
can hear you.
All right.
Can you hear
thank
me?
Yes, I can. I'm Judge Middleton. As you know, I'm here at the courthouse in Centerville. Your lawyer, Luke Knopfinger, has just joined us. I appreciate your logging in early. Good afternoon, Luke.
Yeah, thank you for accommodating. Appreciate it.
Certainly, we try to whenever we can. This is charged as domestic violence second offense. It's alleged that on or about April 3rd that you assaulted Nicole Anthony. That's a misdemeanor, punishable by up to a year in jail and a fine of up to $1,000. Deborah Davis is here on behalf of the prosecutor's office. Ms. Davis, what's the status here?
Your Honor, we have offered to reduce it to disturbing the peace.
All right, well, that's quite a big reduction. Ms. Let's talk about that. Mr. Bucio, these rights will apply to you too if we do end up having a plea, so I'd ask if you pay attention. Ms. Ott,
Will do.
by dismissing this charge, they indicate you're going to plead to a lesser charge known as disturbing the peace. Disturbing the peace is what I used to refer to, or was referred to as a common misdemeanor, 90 days in jail and a fine of up to $500. Doesn't carry any firearm restrictions. by pleading to that charge, they would dismiss the charge of domestic violence second offense. Do you understand?
I understand.
Now, I say this a lot, disturbing the peace doesn't have anything to do with who was right or wrong or who started it, but was there a quarrel, argument, or disturbance in a public place? Do you understand that if you plead to this charge, you will be giving up your right to have a trial
Yes.
in front of a judge or jury? Do you understand? Do you understand?
Yes.
If you had a trial, you'd have the right to be represented by an attorney. Mr. Knopfler.
Yes, I understand.
All right. If you had a trial, you'd have the right to take a witness stand and testify on your own behalf. But you don't have to because you have a right not to testify. And if you did not wish to testify, the judge or jury could not hold your silence against you. And you have the right to be presumed innocent if and until the state was able to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Understand?
Yes, I understand.
Other than this plea agreement, did anyone promise you anything to get you to plead to this
No, sir.
or threaten you?
No, sir.
All right. This allegedly occurred on April 3rd here in Centerville. You and Nicole had been roommates, is that correct?
No, sir. She was squatting at my house.
All right. But she'd actually lived there for a while, is that true?
No.
Well, if
Like I said, she was
squatting-
squatting there to leave, and
All right,
yeah, and I continued
What
trying to
was
figure out.
what was this argument about on April 3rd?
She was stating that she had stuff in my house, and I told her she did not, and she wanted me to open my door, and I told her I wouldn't, and I told her if she didn't leave, I was going to call the cops. Well, I went to go out there to confront her, and she hit me first, and I responded back, and that was my fault, and I do apologize for that.
All right, she said she also hit you. All right, this sounds
But
like.
because she had other people that she was trying to coerce into saying that that I hit first. So her boyfriend and her best friend.
Deborah, is this the kind of thing I need a pre-sentence on, or simply do it as a standard disturbing the peace?
Your Honor, I think a standard disturbing the peace is appropriate under the circumstances.
Rachel, you had an earlier DV. I think you did a probation. Is that correct?
Yes, I did the probation and I completed it.
All right. Well, where are you working now?
I do not work. I have SSI.
All right. Are you still living at the same apartment?
No, I'm not.
What town are you living in?
Sturgis.
All right, Luke, would you email me her current address?
Yes.
All right, I'll accept the plea. Prosecutor's not asking for anything additionally. Rachel, do you think you'll go back to work at some point?
Probably not. I have a brain mass that's restricted me from not being able to work.
All right, I'd hope maybe at some point you'd be able to find a job that you enjoyed.
Trust me, I want to work, but I can't.
All right. I'll give you 1 day in jail. Credit, let me see. Credit 1 day. A $100 fine, $75 crime victims' rights fee, and a $50 state minimum fee, $225.
Okay.
Do you need a payment plan to pay that, or can you pay it?
Yes, please.
All right, $50 per month.
Okay.
Starting August 15th. 15th of each month. So you'll pay that in about 4 months or 5.
Okay,
Do you have any questions?
I do not.
All right. How about if I don't see you for a while? Would that be okay?
I'll try to stay out of trouble.
I don't mind seeing you. How about if I don't see you in here?
Okay.
All right, you're good to go.
All right, thank you.
Luke, does that take care of you?
No, I have a 2:30, Mr. Oliveira.
All right, well, let's take care of Melissa and Mr. Bucio Montoya, and we'll address your next case. Hello, Melissa.
Hello.
Your client is here. We took care of another case while we waited, but we're ready to roll now. Mr. Mario Bucio Montoya is in file number 21493, charged with domestic assault. It's alleged that that occurred on March 8th of 2021. And the complainant was Amare Bucio. What's the status here, Ms. Davis?
Your Honor, the people are willing to offer a disturbing the peace on this as well.
All right. Melissa, is that acceptable to your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Bucio Montoya, could you unmute your phone? Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes. I just went through one of these and I advised her and you of your rights that you give up when you enter a plea. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Do you understand that if you plead to disturbing the peace, the charge of domestic violence will be dismissed? Do you understand? We don't have a real good connection. All right, tell me what happened on March 8th between you and Amare.
We just started arguing and things got out of control and it was night and we were out. And we showed up and I was taken to jail.
How long were you in jail?
For only the next day.
Had you been drinking? Mario?
Sorry, got disconnected.
Yeah, had you been drinking?
No. Oh, that night,
Well,
yes.
Heard that you missed an appointment on Wednesday, 2 days ago, yesterday, actually. Yesterday morning at 9 o'clock.
All right, that's part of the problem. You took off driving too. You were probably drunk driving after this happened. That's not real great. Deborah, this is more of a domestic violence case than the last one was. I understand you have the discretion to make an offer. Do you think I should allow the victim input here?
The last one that you gave me last week is no
Your
longer.
Honor,
Just a minute. Where's the background? Is that on your feed, Melissa?
yeah, the green box is showing up on Melissa's.
Right.
Your Honor, we've had input from the family members and a counselor. That's why this was reduced the way that it was. There are some immigration issues surrounding this. So he has been doing counseling at Psychological Services. I got a good report from his counselor there. So that was factored into why we offered what we offered. If you'd like to have more input from them, I don't think that the victim would be opposed to that, but I'm not sure if it's really necessary.
All right, you've got your discretion to do what you do. Melissa, is there anything else you want to tell me about this?
No, Your Honor.
That number that you provided.
Mr. Montoya, when you lack citizenship, you lack a lot of normal protections that citizens have, not the least of which is you can get deported for a domestic assault charge. You say, well, my wife and I got in an argument. The police reports indicate you got drunk, broke a bunch of stuff in your house, and dragged her around the house in a headlock. That's more than disturbing the peace, but in an effort to keep you from getting deported, they've worked out this plea agreement, which I'll accept. But if this happens again, you run the serious risk of being removed from your family. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm taking the counseling very serious and this won't happen again.
How old were you when you came here?
2 years old.
Yeah, you're what I call a Dream Act kid. I wish they'd give some relief to people like you. You graduated from Sturgis High School, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah, you're as American as my kids. You just lack citizenship.
Certainly, we do keep notes on all of these things. And if something were to happen again, this is not going to be taken very lightly.
All right, there's no good in that. $100 fine, $75 crime victims rights fee, $150 attorney fee. I waived the attorney fee in the last girl, but you have the ability to pay this $250. That's $375. Do you have the ability to pay that, or do you want a payment plan?
No, I can pay in full.
All right, I'll give you 90 days. I'll make it due by September 1. Now, there's a no contact provision that's in effect. That has just been removed. You're no longer on bond. So any no contact provision that was in effect is no longer in effect. I also did not do a probation or any treatment. But I would like it very much if you got your citizenship and didn't have to come back here. Where are you working?
I'm working at Grand Design.
All right. Well, keep doing what you're doing. You and your wife got some issues to work on, but you don't want to be back in this position or you'll be in all kinds of problems. All right. Do you have any questions?
I do not.
All right. You're free to go. We'll send you that information, $375 by September 1st.
Thank you.
All right. You're good to go. Thank you. Melissa, is that the only one you had?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. I'll see you again soon.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye. Let me remove Mario. And Luke's client, Oliveira, is here.
Oh, very good. And Mr. Oliveira's English is just about as good as my Spanish.
No, should we? What are we gonna do?
Well, I have been speaking through his son, who has been interpreting.
Well, let's see how we do. Buenos dias. ¿Es usted Emiliano Oliveira?
Yeah.
This is Judge Middleton. Do you have some English?
No.
No, I got no Spanish.
Spanish.
I only speak Spanish.
All right, what's your name, sir?
Marcos Olivero, I'm his son.
Marcos, would you raise your right hand?
Yep.
Do you swear that to the best of your ability, you will translate these proceedings from Spanish into English and English into Spanish?
Yes.
All right, we'll do the best we can here. Thank you.
So voy a traducir para ti. Yo voy a decir el inglés en ellos.
Prosecutor Davis, is there an offer here? Just a minute, let him translate.
Te va a preguntar el coro si va a hacer una oferta.
I believe the offer is allowing another to violate the motor vehicle code from the first pretrial.
Go ahead and translate that.
Entonces están agarrando pasar el manejo. Que la primera vez.
Luke, is he willing to do that?
Yes.
All right, this is going to take a bit. Senor Oliveira, you're charged with driving with no valid driver's license.
Están agarrando con autos sin licencia.
Sí.
That is a misdemeanor,
Eso es un misdemeanor.
punishable by up to 90 days in jail
Es un misdemeanor de pagar culpa, de poner atrás la bebida de prisión.
and a fine of up to $500.
Una fianza de hasta $500.
It carries 2 points
Entre 2 puntos, o máximo de 2 puntos.
and it goes on your driving record.
Entre los 2 puntos la van a poner en licencia.
The prosecutor has agreed to dismiss that charge.
Los prosecutores no te da los cargos.
In exchange for a plea
En cambio que
to a misdemeanor charge
para un misdemeanor, un cargo de misdemeanor, para más bajo.
of allowing another to violate the motor vehicle code.
Que dejando a otra persona manejando.
That is also a misdemeanor,
En ese es otro un misdemeanor.
punishable by up to 90 days in jail and a fine of up to $100.
Culpable de 9 días en prisión y hasta $100 de fianza.
But it does not carry any points.
No te cobre por tu licencia.
In fact, it doesn't even go on your driving record.
No te se tu récord de manejo.
Are you going to plead to that charge?
Te hace que te cobre así como te dijo bueno.
Sí.
Did anyone threaten you to get you to plead to this charge?
Nadie te amenazó para hacer eso.
No.
Or promise you anything?
Nadie te prometió algo.
No.
I did.
Were you driving? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I did communicate that I would be very surprised if the court imposed jail time.
I'm not going to order any jail sentence.
Thank you.
Translate that.
No te van a regresar.
Were you driving a car on March 21st without having a valid driver's license?
Tú estuviste manejando un carro marzo 21 sin licencia.
Sí.
Where were you going?
¿A dónde estuviste siendo?
Por Indiana.
Para la casa, ¿verdad?
Ajá. En la casa.
Yo no.
Whose car were you driving?
It was my brother's. My twin brother is running around journey.
Whose car were you driving?
Jenny Carlos is one uncle.
Jenny, de Freddy, de my son.
Okay. Now, I'm a few years older than you are, but you and I are close in age. How long have you lived in Sturgis?
12
años. Pues,
12 years.
How long have you been in the United States?
Como
20, 20, 26.
36 years?
26.
26 years.
It looks like his state ID was first issued in June of 2006.
Yeah, that's why we moved over here from New York City.
Well, you never got a ticket like this before. You can't drive here in Michigan unless you have a valid driver's license. Can you translate that?
Aquí no procesamos Michigan, no pasamos en United States, con licencia de manejo.
Do you understand?
Sí.
Are you still employed? Are you still working?
Yes, he is. I'm working at another poultry.
Sí.
Where?
¿A dónde?
Indiana, Portland.
Working at Portland, Indiana.
What's the name of the company?
Pues,
It's Middleton Poultry.
la dealer, ¿no? This is the,
The name of the company is Miller Amish Country Poultry.
Okay, Miller Poultry. All right. How do you get back and forth to work?
Right now, he's taking a ride from his coworker.
Sir, how do you get back and forth to work?
¿Cómo te vas a trabajo?
pidiendo radio.
He's getting from taking a ride from a coworker.
All right. I think I'm afraid of what the answer was. He was driving. You can't drive anymore. Do you understand?
Que tú no puedes manejar.
You owe a $75 fine, $75 crime victims' rights fee, a $50 state minimum fee, and $150 to pay part of your lawyer fee. That adds up to $350. Can you pay that in 30 days?
Yes.
Sí.
Are you still at the North Nottawa Street address?
Sí.
All right. You have 30 2 days to pay $350 to the court. And don't drive anymore until you get a valid license.
He is doing that.
All right. Senor Oliveira, you are free to go.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Luke, what time was your next hearing?
I have a 3 o'clock in juvenile division.
All right, I'm glad we were able to get you done in time. Give
Yeah.
them my regards. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, Debbie, we're in kind of a lull here. We have Joshua Wilkins at 3:15.
Which that one is that Nora coming in for that one?
Oh, yes, it is.
Yes, I thought.
Yep. So I don't have you until Aiden Black at 3:30. He's got a bunch of baggage. He's got another pretrial on another charge. He failed to appear yesterday for an arraignment with Judge Pattison. He's got a couple misdemeanor civil infraction marijuana cases.
I just authorized on the felony complaint for him.
Do you know the file number?
I don't think it had one yet because I just signed it 2 days ago. The warrant, if Mark hasn't looked at it yet.
I didn't see it, and when I did my little check on everybody today. What's it for?
It's for one of the traffic stops, but he had allegedly, of course, a backpack full of mushrooms and LSD and marijuana and vapes. So it's possession with intent to deliver on those substances and possession of them.
All right, well, we'll see whether he shows up. But I guess I'll let you go. I'm going to turn off the live feed, I guess. So we got a half an hour lull before anything happens. Tomorrow is Civil Day. I'm going to turn off the live feed and the recording.